Hey there, Postal here. So today we've got, well, we got one of my news videos. Got a lot to go over. I just got internet back. It is Veterans Day morning, almost afternoon. Happy Veterans Day to any of you military veterans in the United States. I need to give my brother a phone call, don't I? But otherwise, yeah, let's go ahead and let's get right into it. So it is World of Warplanes' 9th birthday. There's also going to be a Tier 5 Premium. We're going to go over every single mission for the Tier 5 Premium and how to earn it, and then whether or not the certificates are worth it. Probably not. So, I've already actually done this video. Unfortunately, I had my microphone off the whole time, and because I'm an idiot. Because, you know, I'm a professional. The birthday missions. This is actually really the biggest deal. Take advantage of the discounts that are going on this weekend, starting today, the 11th, through the 14th. Technically, not really a lot of time on the 14th, but whatever. Discounts on equipment, discounts on decorations, discounts on consumables, discounts on ammunition, discounts on barracks and hangars. So all of that, although there's no discounts on the actual tech tree planes, what this allows you to do is it allows you to set yourself up to have an easier time with those tech tree planes if you're grinding lines. Plus it's 5 times on your first victory this weekend. Definitely take advantage. The equipment you can always reuse, even if you're in a plane that you don't like. You can put equipment on it, make it a little bit easier, and then when you sell the plane, that equipment goes back to your hangar, your depot, and you're able to reuse it in the future. Barracks and hangars can be really important. Barracks, not so much. I mean, you can always just put a pilot in the plane, and that's a good barrack spot. But hangars can be really important, especially if you're new to the game and you're trying to get new planes. I highly recommend hanging on to the planes that you like. And the reason being is, let's say you buy a plane for 1,000,000 credits, you only sell it for 500,000, but you know you're going to buy it back again. You're going to buy it back again for another 1,000,000 later in your life there. And so you've spent 1.5 million on that plane that was only 1,000,000, right? You spent 2 million minus the 500,000. You spent an extra 50% for no freaking reason. It's going to be a longer time frame to get that plane back. Now, in the short run, yeah, you're not able to get that 500,000 credits that you want to get to the next tier. But if you know you like that particular plane, if you're a huge fan of the Spitfire 5, you know, BF-109B is just like your thing. You know, whatever the plane is, I'm just tossing out different plane names. My recommendation is to hang on to it. You know, and this is a prime time to take advantage of that. You can get 50% off the hangar slots when you're using them for gold. Couple other things that are on discounts. Free XP conversion, if that's your thing, then now's the time to take advantage of it. Premium planes, when purchasing them for gold in the premium shop and in the game client, are 50% off. What does that mean? It means this is tier 5 and below. There's a decent amount of tier 5s that are pretty good. Tier 4 and tier 3 and tier 2, personally I'm whatever about them, but if there's a plane that you really want, it's 50% off. That's a decent chunk. What I really like about World of Warplanes is even the tier 8s have a discount that's reasonable. So tier 6 through tier 8 is 30% off. If you're coming from World of Tanks or World of Warships, you know you're only getting like a 15% discount on the tier 8s. That is not true of the World of Warplanes tier 8 premiums, and there are some really good tier 8 premiums. That being said, if you've got the patience, the best tier 8 premium is the Vampire F1, which is completely free, but you have to grind it out. Tier 8 premium. But if you know you got some pockets and you want to spend on an XP58, or I just posted a video on the P80A a couple days ago. If you're gonna spend money on a friggin' fake plane, now's the time to do it, right? At least you're getting a discount on it. Alright, now the missions. There's Born to Fly Part 1, 2, and 3. In my opinion, none of them are difficult. They just take a while. And in my opinion, Part 1 is going to take longer than Part 2, which is going to take longer than Part 3. It's kind of funny. Let's start. Part 3, win 5 battles, earn at least 9,000 personal points in each of those wins. There's going to be people out there that get this done in 5 missions. All 3 of these Born to Fly parts need Tier 5 and above, so be mindful of that. Here you're going to earn 10 different supply crates. Born to Fly Part 2 is 90,000 personal points in any number of battles. Again, there's any number of battles, so do your thing. You'll eventually get it, even if you're just getting 5,000 personal points per battle. Mission number 1 is 90 enemy aircraft. Now, do keep in mind, 90 enemy aircraft kills means the red team. Air defense aircraft don't count. Not even red air defense aircraft. It needs to be the enemy aircraft that spawn on the opposite side. Again, tier 5 and above. The unfortunate part is we've only got 3 days to complete this, and I'm already a day behind. But it can be done. Unfortunately, I've got only one off day this weekend. So be it. I guess I'll just be living on the computer on my off day. If you complete each one of those 3 missions, though, you do get born, once you complete part 1, 2, and 3, you do get 2 Harpy supply crates, which are really nice for potential for premium aircraft. And plus you get the cool emblem. The emblems give you, I don't forget, 2, 3, or 5% towards crew experience. I think it's 3%. I don't remember off the top of my head. Somebody will remind me. It doesn't matter. You get a free emblem, and that's always a good thing. Take advantage. This is the item that's only available for the weekend, so take advantage of it for the weekend. As far as the missions are for this Tier 5 Premium, it's a Junkers 87 D-5. They call it a dive bomber. It's a ground attacker in-game. I'd like to play it to see, like, is it reasonably high altitude for a GA and you dive down? It has a, it doesn't show it here, but it has a ridiculously, let's click right here actually, ridiculously big bomb on it. It's like the size of the fuselage. It's 1,000 kilogram bomb. I mean, it's like the same size as like the EF-131 bombs, right? Obviously you only get one. I have no idea what the reload time is on it. I don't know what's up with the tribal tattoo marks on here. It's reminds me of the mid to late 90s. Although it could be kind of like, I've seen some Irish patterns like this too. So, but it's a German plane, so I don't, whatever, I don't know. Yeah, so you get this 1,000 kilogram bomb that does 8,000 damage at tier 5. You get a turret that doesn't really seem like it does much, but it's a turret. It's better than no turret. And then 2 20mm cannons. What I like about that is you potentially have the ability to do air-to-air damage as well, which is not a bad thing at tier 5. It seems like it's going to be a fun plane. I like fun planes. I don't know if it'll be a strong plane. It matters the reload time of the bomb. We'll find out. I'm going to try to earn that as quickly as possible. I was gifted some certificates on the EU server, so I'm going to try to earn it on the EU server as quickly as possible, and then continue to get it on the North American server as well. We'll see how that goes. On EU, I'm definitely got to use my certificates for the last mission. We're going to take a look at the missions right now. None of these missions... One of these missions is really difficult. The rest of them aren't overly difficult, but they're just going to take some time. The good thing is you've got like 3.5 weeks to be able to complete this, and there's only 15 missions. So be diligent. Don't get frustrated. I'm gonna say this throughout this reviewing the missions is take out planes that fit you better than planes that might necessarily fit the mission. Yeah, there's going to be planes that I'm going to say that might do great on this mission type, but if you don't have that plane or if you're not good in that plane, then take a plane that you can do it and not get frustrated in. A lot of these are just any number of battles, missions. There's only a couple, 3 I think or 4, that need to be completed in one battle, maybe 5. But the vast majority of them are simply cumulative missions that take any number of battles for you. So you can just do them during your dailies with a little bit of focus on the mission. Mission number 1, 60,000 personal points in any number of battles. Straightforward. Earn some premium time. Mission number 2, and keep in mind each of these missions can only be completed once you've completed the previous mission. So it's not like you can get all these done in one flight. Mission number 2, participate in capturing 25 sectors in any number of battles. My recommendation is going to be to take a plane that you do well capturing sectors. Typically not a fighter, but whatever floats your boat. Ground attackers, bombers, heavy fighters are going to be the best go-to. Multi-role fighters to a slightly less extent, and then whatever. But whatever floats your boat, it's any number of battles, 25 sectors. You get some premium pneumatic control equipment. Consumable. Mission number 3, destroy 100 enemy aircraft in 100 air defense aircraft in any number of battles, and you get some parts. This one can be kind of weird, but just remember, focus on air defense aircraft. Obviously, don't be completely blinded by the enemies. Don't get yourself killed just to kill an air defense aircraft. But the focus needs to be on the air defense aircraft. So really, a heavy fighter is going to be good for this. A decent amount of multi-role fighters, and then some of the faster fighters can be good at doing this, going from sector to sector, just killing the air defense aircraft. Mission 4 is a Flying Paladin badge. So what is a Flying Paladin badge? Well, a Flying Paladin badge can only be earned with a heavy fighter and a fighter. In a heavy fighter, if you kill 15 aerial targets, you get the Flying Paladin badge. In a fighter, if you kill 17 aerial targets, you get a Flying Paladin badge. Great thing about the Flying Paladin badge is it doesn't need to be earned in one sortie. It's just throughout the battle. So whatever heavy fighter or fighter you feel most comfortable in getting the 15 or 17 kills, and you move on with your life, you get some more parts. Mission number 5, receive the Conqueror achievement. I should have checked on this ahead of time. I think it's Conqueror is earned with 400 capture points. It might be 450. And you earn some intensive training boosters for crew. That's really nice. The great thing about the Conqueror is it can be done in any aircraft, and it's capture points. So that means attacking or defending. I've earned the Conqueror defending sectors. I've earned Conqueror attacking sectors. So whatever plane you're most comfortable in getting capture points in, keep in mind capture points are only earned by killing aircraft in the sector or killing air defense aircraft. Because air defense aircraft can sometimes go outside the sector, but killing them still gives you the capture points. If they're not air defense aircraft, they need to be killed whether you're attacking or defending inside that sector. That will give you the capture points for those kills. So keep that in mind. Mission number 6, deal 50,000 hit points of damage to aerial targets in any number of battles. The good thing about this is it's just aerial targets, so you can kill bombing runs, you can kill air defense aircraft, you can kill enemy aircraft. 50,000 can be daunting for somebody that doesn't have a super high tier plane, but really anything tier 8 and above is going to be able to get this done, heavy fighter especially, relatively quickly. Tier 10 is where it's at. Javelin, HG3, the XF90, those are going to be the planes that are going to get it done the quickest. But if you're not comfortable in those planes, if you prefer the P228, if you only have a tier 8 262, then so be it. Again, it's any number of battles. Don't stress out about it. It's not worth it. And you get some premium engine restart. Mission number 7, earn 5,000 capture points in any number of battles. This one's going to be very tedious. The reason being is because capture points, again, you can earn them attacking or defending. But 5,000 doesn't seem like a ton. But you're going to have battles that either your team just gets completely stomped and you're like, what the heck, I only got 150 capture points. Or vice versa, you completely stomp the enemy team. Your friendlies are capturing sectors before you can even have an input on it. And so, yeah, you might get 500 capture points in battles. But getting them consistently can be kind of hit or miss. But it's not the end of the world. Mission 8, destroy 60 enemy multi-role fighters in any number of battles. This one's kind of an odd one. You earn some premium, what is this, like basically firefighting equipment. Don't completely focus on the multi-role fighters. It's 60 of them, so it's not like killing them in one battle is going to happen. What tends to happen sometimes with pilots is they're like, oh, there's a multi-role fighter, I'm going to go kill him. And they completely disregard everything else that's happening in the battle, and they just get killed by a mosquito, or they get killed by the A6M5, right? You need to still play the game, take advantage of killing the multi-role fighters, but don't kill yourself to kill a multi-role fighter. You're actually going to make it take longer, right? Good thing about multi-role fighters is they typically, the most, on average, they're the most prevalent aircraft in the battle. You know, there's 2 bombers, 2 GAs, 2 heavy fighters, 2 fighters, and then the remaining 4 or whatever are multi-role fighters. So at least there's more multi-role fighters than anything else at the mid to high tiers. That's a good thing. Remember, all these missions are tier 4 and above. Mission 9, destroy 6 enemy aircraft while attacking sectors in a single battle. So this is obviously another single battle mission, and it's enemy aircraft. So this is not killing air defense aircraft while attacking sectors. It's killing enemy aircraft. So typically it's killing fighters and multi-role fighters that are defending the sector. And you have to be attacking that sector, so it has to be a red or a white sector. And when you're killing the enemy aircraft, they need to be in that sector. If you kill them outside the sector, it's not counting as you're attacking the sector. You need to kill them inside the sector. Many times on this type of mission, you know, I might be trailing somebody, knocking him down, he's down to 10 HP, he gets outside the sector, I'm like, you son of a crackerjack. But I see that he's turning back in, so I'll loop back around and then attack him again as he's getting into the sector. Obviously, what can happen in that situation is a friendly, a bot, an air defense aircraft can kill him. Don't get frustrated if you don't get this mission right away, just because sometimes it's RNG based. You have to focus on this mission to do it, excuse me, but don't get stressed out if it's not something you get right away. Flying Guardian Badge. Flying Guardian Badge can only be earned by a multi-role fighter or a fighter. It's 8 defense kills during a battle. So what does that mean? It means you need to be in a sector or kill an enemy while they're in the sector attacking your sector. So it's basically the complete opposite of the previous mission. And so you have to be in a multi-role fighter or fighter. I tend to do these missions in really turny fighters. Find a sector that you know all the enemy aircraft are going to be going to. Typically like the center sector, especially if it's like a military base or a command center. Or sometimes go towards a sector that's near their spawn point, where all their zombie-like aircraft spawn, and go, I'm going to go to this garrison. And you can kind of just camp there and beat the heck out of everybody that comes into the sector. You can get this in any multi-role fighter or fighter. I mean, I've gotten it in FW-190Ds, which are not turn fighters at all. But again, whatever you find most comfortable in defending a sector, just make sure your kills are inside the sector to count towards the defense of said sector, and you're good. And you get some more boosters here. This one's for credits, which is always nice. 150% booster to credit for 2 hours. You get 2 of those. Mission 11, 3,000 capture points for destroying ground targets in any number of battles. So this is really going to be what you want to go in a ground attacker or a bomber for this. 3,000 capture points for destroying ground targets is not the most difficult to get. But it can be one of those that sometimes, somebody else is attacking the same section and they steal it from you. Just be mindful of it. Take your time and you'll get it eventually. But GEAs and bombers are going to get this so much quicker than any other aircraft in the game. So if you've got a ground attacker or a bomber that you're grinding, great thing is it's simply capture points. It's not the amount of damage you're doing to the ground. That's for later. And so you don't need a high tier GEA or bomber to do it. You get a premium day once you complete that mission. Mission number 7, destroy 75 air defense aircraft in any number of battles. You get some parts. This is going to be a tedious one, guys, right? Even if you kill 7 air defense aircraft in every single battle, it's still going to take you 11 battles to do it. It just is what it is. My recommendation is to have a relatively fast aircraft that you feel comfortable in taking on air defense aircraft. Whatever that is for you. It could be a higher tier fighter, could be a mid-tier multi-role fighter, could be any of the heavy aircraft. This one can be hit or miss simply because sometimes if you're just killing air defense aircraft really quickly, you're steamrolling the enemy team and you're done with the battle and you killed 4 air defense aircraft because the battle got out of hand really, really quickly. Or maybe you're in a multi-role fighter that does really well, but the enemy humans just picking on you the whole damn game, and you're just like, just let me kill. I just want to kill the air defense aircraft. So there's kind of a balance to it. Obviously, you want to kill the air defense aircraft, but you don't want to get yourself killed killing the air defense aircraft. Kind of like that multi-role fighter mission. Don't completely throw out your normal gameplay just to kill that air defense aircraft. If you can do it because it's relatively easy to knock them out in this situation, then do it. But don't fail your whole battle just to get a to get an air defense aircraft kill. Mission number 13. This one, I do recommend higher tier planes. 600,000 hit points of damage to ground targets in any number of battles. It's a lot of damage, right? And you can get some premium consumables. I guarantee there's somebody out there that's going to do this in 4 battles. They're going to get 150,000 damage 4 battles straight and be done with it. Probably Prenzlau and Fallen Angel. But I'm not going to get it done in 4 battles, even with my tier 10 bombers and ground attackers. It's just not my skill set. If I'm lucky, I'll get it done in 6. Not everybody's got that skill set. I understand that. Luckily, it's any number of battles. But to get it done quicker, the higher the tier bomber or GA you have, the better. The only really good high tier multi-role fighters that I would trust to do this, if you have high tier multi-role fighters like the Hunter or F-84s, if you've got those, but only like mid tier bombers and GAs, well, even like low tier, like tier 4 and tier 5, that would be the only time I'd recommend a Hunter or an F-84, is because you've got a tier 4 or tier 5 GA. Even typically tier 6, 7 ground attackers and bombers are going to do better ground attack wise than a top tier multi-role fighter. Your skill set may be different. Go with what's best for you on your average ground damage plane. Take whatever floats your boat. It's not worth the stress of trying to do what Postal says. Everybody's different, right? Mission 14, destroy 6 enemy ground attack aircraft in a single battle. This one's kind of a wonky one. It's really RNG based quite a bit. A lot of people have got it done in their first try. A lot of people have took like 10 battles. The thing with this is you can only kill enemy ground attack aircraft, and it's got to be done in a single battle. Typically the recommendation, the perfect aircraft is going to be a faster plane with heavier hitting cannons. So that way, if one of the enemy ground attackers goes to the east and one goes west, you're able to bounce from side of the map to the side of the map. The problem is sometimes enemy human's going to be an a-hole and just try to track you down and ruin your day, kind of thing, right? So be mindful of that. This might be a mission that's better in a flight, so that way somebody can handle the rest of the stuff while you're off gallivanting around for ground attackers. Sometimes just the enemy ground attackers are going to go right to one sector and just keep going there and make it easy for you. So yeah, that would be my recommendation on that. How I know people that have done this mission in their own ground attackers, things like 1102s and a lot of the German ground attackers and some of the Soviet ground attackers are really good at this kind of thing. But it is kind of weird to be playing defense when you're in a ground attacker. So just be mindful of that. Get 3 supply crates. Mission 15, this is the really difficult one, I'm not going to lie. And it takes 24 certificates to bypass it, so it's not the cheapest thing to bypass. A Golubev. What is a Golubev? Well, it's a Rocketeer times 3 in a single sortie and winning the battle. So getting all those things to line up individually isn't a big deal. Can you win a battle? Sure, I win 50% of my battles. I win 65% of my battles. Whatever. You're eventually going to win a battle. But you need to get 3 Rocketeers without dying. It's really what it comes down to, right? So the best planes for this, bar none, are going to be the Tier 8 and Tier 9 German multi-role fighters, and there's an American multi-role fighter. So the BVP 210, BVP 212, and then the F94D. Those are just the best at getting this mission done. In my opinion, the Tier 8 German is the best for it, because once you get to the Tier 9, you've got to deal with Tier 10s, and it can be a pain in the butt. Getting a Rocketeer isn't necessarily the most consistent and easy thing for a lot of pilots out there. I wasn't very good at it until I was fortunate enough to stumble onto Fallen Angel and watch him just like get Rocketeers just like it was nothing. You can learn a lot from from watching someone like him on Twitch, or reaching out to somebody in your clan trying to get some best practices. So getting Rocketeers isn't necessarily the easiest for everybody. Getting Golubevs is incredibly difficult because you can't die. You can't. You got to restart the process. And everything's got to line up perfectly. I've had battles where I've gotten 5 Rocketeers without dying, but we lost the battle because I'm off here trying to get Rocketeers, and the rest of my team is, licking windows and crashing into mountains. We couldn't win. So Golubev's one of those things that you can't get frustrated if you're trying to go and get it. You just gotta deal with it, right? It might be best, again, to be in a flight where you're out here shooting Rocketeers and one of your buddies is actually, trying to win the game. But the flip side to that is I've been in plenty of those flights where, you just steamroll them because you're Rocketeering and your buddy's over kicking butt and taking names and barely had time to get 2 Rocketeers, much less 3. And so, yeah, a Golubev. I'm honestly stunned that the Golubev's the Mission 15. It is such a high skill cap medal to get. Like the only one that might be more difficult than a Golubev, in my opinion, is probably the Gabreski. Like literally all the rest of them I've got, and maybe it's just me. Maybe that's just my skill set. All the rest of the medals, Marseilles and all that jazz, aces, whatever. I'll eventually get that. But a Golubev, like I need to be 100% focused on getting a Golubev, or I will not get a Golubev. So yeah, good luck to everybody that's never gotten a Golubev before. It can be done in air-to-ground rocket planes. I've gotten one in a Mosquito before, so keep that in mind. If you've only got planes that are air-to-ground rockets, you're gonna have to manufacture those. Now there are some like a Yak 7. Some of those like low tier Soviet multi-role fighters that might have rockets, it can be done in those. The way I did it in my Mosquito was very cheeky. I got behind some a bombing run and whittled them down to a relatively low health, and then fired 2 rockets, killed a bomber, did the next thing to the next bomber, did that, and I already gotten a sneaky rocketeer against a multi-role fighter earlier in the battle. So I got a Golubev that way. If a target's just going in a straight line like that, air-to-ground rockets are going to be okay. So you don't necessarily need the BVP 210 or 212 or the Starfire, but it's a lot easier when it's literally the rockets on those planes are made to go after enemy aircraft. So yeah. So there's the missions there. A lot of talking, and I apologize about that. But a lot going on between the Stuka and the Happy Birthday weekend that's going on right now. Take advantage of the Happy Birthday weekend discounts. Now's the time to get that paint that you might want for 30 days at a discount. Now's definitely a time if you're going to buy a premium anyway. Now's the time to get it. I'm not sure, like, there's a lot of premiums that aren't quite worth it in my opinion. But you might win some premiums with those crates that they've got going on for the birthday weekend thing. So do your thing. Take advantage of the discounts for this weekend. Slowly work on your Stuka. And yeah, I'll get a Stuka review out as quickly as possible. Thanks to Zach, I've already got 50 certificates in EU, so I'll be grinding out EU as quickly as possible. And then while I've got my streaming days, I'll be working on North American server as well. And I'll get a video posted as quickly as possible. I hope this was helpful. I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Have a great weekend.